Warning, this podcast is not vegetarian or vegan friendly.
Snorkers, good-o.
Prick with a fork. 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 Prick with a fork.
Hello, how are you? Welcome to another episode of Prick with a Fork, the world's only regular podcast all about sausages and all things sausage related. I'm Duncan. Now, you might have come here because you picked up on it on social media, or someone else on YouTube, that'll be YouTube, suggested you might like this, or maybe because one of my day jobs is I talk about politics on the telly and on the radio, and sometimes I also talk about sausages, but occasionally people do a Google search and up comes this podcast. So this is not about politics, but this is about my other passion in life, which is about all things porky. It is Prick with a Fork. It's a sausage podcast. You can watch it on YouTube. Hello. You can also listen to it on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify as well. And certainly when it comes to YouTube, if you like what you're watching, you can do me a favor. You can subscribe. It won't cost you a penny. Honestly, we have about 1,500 subscribers. You know, it's a very small and bespoke little operation, this, and quite niche because it's all about the Great British Banger and all things related. But if you like it, please subscribe. And if you really like it, please share, subscribe, rate and review, and I will love you forever. If you're new to this, my background is really simple. I'm not an expert. I know a little bit about talking into a microphone, and I love my sausages, and I make sausages, and I eat a lot of sausages. I'm not an expert. I am an enthusiast, so I want to spread the sausage joy, if that makes sense. What I wanted to do with this episode is do something a little bit different, because I've acquired something in the last few months, and you know, I'm lucky. I'm surrounded by people who know what I like, so occasionally I get gifts where I just go, oh, this is fantastic. And I wanted to sample this with you because I think it will go really well with sausages, particularly as we head towards, well, I say head towards, a few months yet to go, but you know, you can barbecue in all seasons, but you know, when spring comes around, you've got the bangers on the barbie, you might want some sauce. I've got a recommendation for you here. Also, you might be thinking, ooh, not just sausages, but this sauce can go all kinds of things like a pie or a burger or whatever. Because I figure that if you're watching this and listening to this, you're not just into your sausages, you really like your grub. Now, this is Balefire. And it comes from the north of England. Their strapline is forged in the north, and you should be able to see that. If I hold it up there you are, Balefire. Forged in the north. Now, this is a family company. It's a small business, and we should all be supporting our small businesses in these challenging times. A couple of twin brothers, Pete and Jim, and they come out of County Durham, which is part of the UK that I really like. So it's Balefire, forged in the north. This is their soul fire sauce, right? And this is pretty immense. I'll just tell you what's in it. It's their signature sauce, habanero and craft beer hot sauce, containing fermented habanero peppers, roasted bell peppers, fresh pineapple, caramelized garlic. Oh my word. Craft beer and artisan vinegar. Not a big fan of the word artisan, but we'll put that to one side for now. I'm going to sample this with you because I think it's going to be great with sausages, okay, and anything else. But also, it comes out of County Durham, small family business. We should be supporting businesses like this. And the best thing about these guys, you can mail order, because one of the bits of feedback I get with this podcast is people go, you try these sausages, and sometimes they're from supermarkets, sometimes they're from farm shops. If they're from like one part of the country and you've been on your travels and you bought them home and you sampled them, I can't get them unless the place does mail order. The good thing about Balefire is they have an online shop. So if you're into your sauces and you want to find out more about them, the website is balefire.uk, balefire.uk, and they deliver. Right, and you can go on there, you can buy this particular sauce that we're going to sample, their soul sauce or their soul fire sauce. There's loads of other stuff on there as well. Balefire.uk. I don't get any commission from this. I just want to spread the joy of good food and good products. So it's balefire.uk, and you can find them on Instagram as well at Balefire Sauce. So I'm not going to try this sauce naked, because even by my heathen standards, just gulping down some of this is a little bit beyond the pale. So I'm going to sample something with it, which also is another local product. So first off, we're going to open up this bale fire and just have a little bit of a sniff. Ooh, that hits the nostrils in a rather delightful way. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that into a bowl here. It's quite runny, so if you want to get the idea of the consistency, it's not dissimilar to Tabasco, the pepper sauce, in terms of consistency. I've given it a good shake. It's quite runny. That's no bad thing. Just pop a good old puddle in there. Puddle in the bowl. Good name for a pub, that. Puddle in the bowl. So we'll put that down there. I'm just going to show you one more picture of it for now. So it's stuck in your memory, in your brain. There you are. You won't get it in the shops. Well, I don't think you can get it in the shops. Not right across the UK, but you can get it online. Go to balefire.uk, shop online. Now, I'm not going to sample this sauce with a sausage, because I thought I'd do something a little bit different, because this is a sausage podcast. It's all things sausage related. We do a lot of proper sausage sampling. But also, when we talk about all things sausage related, that gets us nicely into the world of sausage rolls. Now, you know, we're spoilt in this country in many ways. One of the great national chains is Greggs, that came out of northeast England. 1951, 1952, a guy called John Greggs. I think he opened his first shop in Gosforth High Street. They are everywhere. When I worked in the northwest of England, there's a great bakers. They're still going, called Sayers. They've been going since, I think it's like 1912, 1913, around that period, based in Liverpool. Well, that's where they started. And they do immense sausage rolls. I mean, I was working at a radio station at the time, and if we had been out the night before having some maybe just a small glass of Guinness, walking to the radio station in the morning to a morning show, you need some ballast in your stomach to soak up the Guinness. I'd often go to Sayers and have one of their sausage rolls. They were great. These sausage rolls aren't Greggs. They're not Sayers. They're from a local company to me. Now, I live on the south coast of England in a place called Chichester. And there is literally, if I walk, hang on a second, that way, for about 2 minutes, 90 seconds, on the corner of the street, there is an outlet called Turner's Pies, which is not good. Like, if you're a middle-aged bloke like me, and any middle-aged blokes who are listening and watching this will know, when you get to our age, it's about trying to keep the weight off, right? Losing weight is a different thing, well, completely different thing entirely. But when you get to our age, you know, sort of like early to mid 50s, you want to try and keep the weight off. So having a Turner's Pie shop near me is massive temptation. They do a load of pies, and I'm working on the basis that if you like sausages and sausage rolls, there's a good chance you like your pies. They have a website as well, which is turnerspies.co.uk, but related to that is Pies by Post, piesbypost.com, where you can not only get pies sent to where you live, but also their sausage rolls. A bit about Turner's Pies. And you might be thinking, I've heard about Turner's Pies. You might have done. Their top man, Phil Turner, was on The Apprentice. Do you know that thing with Lord Alan Sugar, who looks a bit like Nookie Bear? That's, Google it, kids. He was on there, Phil Turner. Really, really good ambassador for his company and all things kind of pie related. But we're not going to sample their pies. We're going to use their sausage rolls, which I've had numerous. I mean, probably runs into tens of thousands in the last 20 years since I've been living here. So I know they're good sausage rolls, but I just thought I'd share the love a little bit. They're a local company to the south coast. So where I am in Chichester, they've got a shop. They've got one in Bognor Regis where they first started in, I think, the early 1930s, around that time. Then you've got Broadwater, you've got Rustington, where I was born, Petersfield, and I think that's all of it. I've got a little list here, but I think that is all of the Turner's Pies outlets: Petersfield, Broadwater, Bognor Regis, Chichester and Rustington. The website turnerspies.co.uk and Pies by Post, where you send them some money and they send you some pies. What's there not to love? Particularly at the beginning of a year, which I don't know about you, but I always find increasingly January and February just so blooming bleak. Anyway, so it's Turner's Pies, and handily they do these lovely. You can go in there and get hot pies, but you can also get a hot sausage roll. So it's a miserable cold morning, late morning, and you think, I just need something to perk me up. I need a little perker. I always go and just have a hot sausage roll, which is not a euphemism. So they sell them hot, they sell them cold, but also they do these cocktail sausage rolls and these lovely packs here. Turner's pies, that's what you're looking at, and they are quite marvellous. So I'm going to use these, because not just having meat to sample the sauce with, but I thought a bit of pastry as well is not necessarily a bad thing. So let's just open up these. Oh, hang on a sec. We really don't want to get pastry everywhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to dip. So this is the sauce. You can see that now. Whoops. Didn't mean to knock everything. I'm just going to dip a corner of the sausage roll into that. I might need some more sauce, actually. So you can see that on there. Now, that is hot. But not in that kind of nasty chemical way. You know, sometimes you go to an Indian restaurant and you have something that's, they go, oh, it's hot. And you think, I want something hot. And you have it, and it's not a great Indian restaurant. And sometimes the kind of the hot bit almost tastes chemical. Does that make sense? And you get it with some other sauces as well. I can tell you, not with these guys, not with Balefire. This is, it's hot, but it's hot in a deep way, if that makes sense. Now, my second dip, I've got the beer coming through. So remember, we've got peppers in this. There's a bit of tomato, paprika, looking at the ingredients. Some craft beer. And also pineapple, just to give you a bit of sweetness. Now, I'm not quite yet getting the pineapple. I'm going to have another dip here. Now, I'm getting the artisan vinegar as well. And a bit of the garlic. I'm going to put a bit more in the bowl. Now, sometimes if you go to the supermarkets, and, I'm always a fan, if you can, support local food producers, because, they're obviously they're in there to make a few quid, but they're probably in it because they love their grub. All right. So if you can get hold of Balefire, forged in the north, here we go. Balefire.uk is the website. They deliver anywhere. But if you go to a supermarket and it's a run-of-the-mill mass-produced thing, there's something like, oh, this is super hot. Oh, it's only for real men and all of that guff, which puts me off because, it's like that program you sometimes see on the Food Network. What is it, Man versus Food, where you get some right old bloater, who goes in somewhere and tries to eat literally his body weight in pizza or whatever. And I just think, I'm not here to criticize. It's not about people who are big or fat or obese. It's got nothing to do with that. But I love my grub, right? But clearly there is a point where you just go, actually, I shouldn't eat anymore because I don't feel very well. But when you watch Man versus Food, you get these numpties who rock up, and then, they're sweating in the background and stuff. You can't be enjoying that food. And it's the same thing with these sauces that are on the market, which are mass produced, not small batch like these guys. And it's just like, oh, this is only for men who can really hack the heat. And it's just like, oh, do one, will you? What's the matter with you? Go and get yourself a girlfriend or a boyfriend. So I put a bit more sauce in here. I need a bit more. Hang on. Let me just put a bit more. Because what I want to do is get the sweetness. I'm liking this at the moment. I think this is a really tasty sauce. It's not aggressive. It's not too heavy. That makes sense. There's a depth to it, but also a lightness. Is that a contradiction? I don't think there's a contradiction. But it's not sharp, is what I'm trying to say. Metallic-y and tastes like chemical, which is a lot of these hot sauces are. So a bit more here. I do find if I have another mouthful quite quickly. And there it is. There's a pineapple. This is blooming lovely. So, let me just finish this off. Should I finish off the sauce in the bowl? I probably should. Hang on. Now, whilst we are all about, this is good, sausages and porky things. I can imagine this going really well on a barbecue. Some chicken drumsticks. I mean, what you could do, get your drumsticks and not necessarily marinate them in this sauce, because I think that might be too excessive, but you could just paint on some of the sauce before you barbecue your chicken drumsticks. That might be a bit of favourite. You could splash it on a burger. But for me, this sauce, when you start firing up your barbecue in springtime, summertime, you want some of this in your larder. Because not only is it a very good product with quality ingredients, but it will go so well with a cold beer. Oh, right. Oh. You can tell I've been scoffing this sauce for the last 5 minutes. I'm not red in the face. There's no tears streaming down my eyes. My tongue has got a nice little tingle, which basically goes, oh, I've had something a bit hot, but not aggressively hot. So the balance is spot on. But I tell you what, I'm now projecting forward to the barbecue fired up outside. Some marvellously made bangers, maybe homemade like I do from time to time. If you're not sure how to make your own bangers, check out our Instagram page, Sausage Podcast on Insta, Sausage Podcast on Insta. You'll also find some films on the YouTube channel about how to make your own sausages. But maybe you've got your own bangers barbecuing nicely. Maybe you bought some nice bangers, ideally from a farm shop, because they're always better than the supermarket. But even if, you don't have the choice, supermarket bangers, there are some great ones out there, and we talk about them quite frequently on this podcast. But just imagine, you've got that going, and got some nice rolls, those kind of like finger rolls, and, put in a sausage, just a run-of-the-mill porker, because you don't want anything else. What I would argue is with this, you don't then want a really heavily spiced sausage, because this is going to bring you the chilies and the heat and the bell peppers and the garlic, right? So I'll just go for a run-of-the-mill porker, like a butcher's sausage. And then what you do, you should just put this into the roll. Then what you also do is make sure you've got some nice cold bottles of beer or cider, if that's your thing, on the go. Because I can tell you, I can almost imagine it now, swigging an ice-cold beer after having a bite of a sausage slathered in this, in a roll, on a hot summer's afternoon. Maybe some nice music playing in the background, maybe some Jimi Hendrix, Led Zeppelin, Red Hot Chili Peppers, or if you want something a bit cooler, maybe some soul, some George Benson, that kind of stuff. It would just be heaven, frankly. It would be the best thing ever. I'm going to give this sauce, and I will catch to you, we'll do more sauces this year because, we do a lot of sausage stuff, which is fine, but the world of sausage and pork and whatnot is quite vast, so we're going to try and branch out into different areas. This is really good. I recommend you get some. And if you don't want it, buy it for someone in your life who loves their grub or loves their barbecuing. So just to recap, this is Bale Fire. There you go, Bale Fire. It's their Soul Fire sauce. It's their signature habanero and craft beer hot sausage, right? It's got beer in there as well. And I'm thinking Father's Day. You got a dad who loves his beer and loves his food and his meat. You need to be getting some of this. Roasted bell peppers, fermented habanero. You got fresh pineapple, garlic, craft beer and vinegar. You can taste all of those things there. What is quite lovely about what they do in their marketing, it says, ever thought there is probably someone on this planet doing exactly what you are doing right now? Well, that's highly unlikely if you're reading this text. This is small batch fermented chili sauce. That's pretty amazing. Well done you. No, well done you, Bale Fire, for creating such a lovely product. So their website is balefire.uk. If you want to order some online, find them on Instagram. It's Bale Fire Sauce. Pete and Jim, twin brothers out of County Durham. I salute you. And just to recap, if you like your sausage rolls, you can get these online. You have to buy quite a few of them, but also you could pair it up with a load of pies. These are from Turner's Pies. I recommend them highly. I've eaten enough. I know what I'm talking about. Turner's Pies, based in West Sussex, on the south coast. It's tickling the back of my throat now, the heat. They have a website, which is turnerspies.co.uk, but also related to that is Pies by Post, piesbypost.com. If you go there, you can order sausage rolls and pies. Who would have thought it? Listen, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope you found this one interesting. I see it as my duty, not just to kind of like, big up sausages I come across and ones that I hope you will enjoy as well, but increasingly anything sausage related. So I thought I'd do a sauce on this one and of course a sausage roll. Thank you for your support. If you know someone who likes this kind of stuff, please tell them about this podcast. We exist on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, but the big thing I'm pushing at the moment is YouTube, because that's where everyone seems to go to watch and listen to their podcast. So our YouTube channel, Prick with a Fork, is there. I think it's at Sausage Podcast. There's quite a few videos on there of various sausage sampling exercises. Please subscribe, share and subscribe, and rate and review. And I'd be really, really grateful, because that's the only way we're going to spread out the sausage love. And this particular YouTube channel, Prick with a Fork. You can also find us on Instagram, which is at Sausage Podcast. There's pictures on there, products and all kinds of nonsense going on at Sausage Podcast on Instagram. And if you want to just send an email, and I'll happily read them out, or I will do so along with Rosa, who's my partner in crime, who from time to time crops up here, and we munch sausages together. The email address is really simple. It's prickfork@gmail.com, prickfork@gmail.com. Until next time, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and happy sausage eating.
Oh, we've got bangers and snorkers. I'm so in love with those porkers. Sizzle or fry, that's what I like. As long as it's real, you'll never butcher my pride. I love my blood sausage, whether black or white. I'm like a hot dog in mustard. Since a new way of stuffing I've discovered. Oh, bratwurst is fine, bratwurst delights. Cumberland rocks with an onion side. Salami, boudin, Savoy, I'm a pig hog high. Oh yeah, la la la. As long as it's in a skin, it's fine.